Good morning, everybody. I want to give a special thank you to our fellow Washingtonian, Dr. Tony Fauci. Let's hear it for Dr. Fauci.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. It's really a great pleasure to be here in this ward. I've been a resident of the district for 50 years. I love this city. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'd like to believe people listen to me, but some don't. But when you have people who are part of the community, you know, the community core, the trusted messengers, those are the ones they listen to. So that's the reason why we need you to get out there and tell your colleagues, tell your friends, tell your loved ones why it's so important to get vaccinated. So once again, thank you so much for all you do. We look forward to working with you. Thank you.
So videos that are surfacing very recently, and I happened to see a few of them, so I have to talk about it. That's 2021 when the virus was at its peak, I guess. And Tony Fauci decided that he was going to go to a neighborhood in D.C. Apparently, he's lived in that area for 50 years. And he was going to walk the streets with the mayor, Muriel Bowser. And they were going to tell the people how good the jabs were and how much the jabs were going to save you. But if you saw in that clip behind them, when the camera was panning, you saw a brand new Jeep and another brand new vehicle with signs on it, win this. So basically what they were doing is they were having raffles for jabs, and you could win a brand new vehicle if you picked the right number, I guess, when you were getting your jab, and you were going to win a new car. That's how they propagandized the jab back in 2021. And even today, they're still doing it because that's all you see on TV is commercials about getting your updated jab, get your updated jab. But it's unbelievable that somebody who's supposedly the best scientist ever, and he was going to save everybody from the virus, which in fact we all know was not true then, and it's certainly not true now. But in 2021, he took to the streets in that neighborhood to talk to people and tell them how important it was to get the jab. Because after all, back then, if you got the jab, you weren't going to get sick. And if you did get sick, you weren't going to give it to anybody else because you were jabbed. And today, in 2023, we know that's not true. We know that even if you got 1 jab, 2 jabs, 4 jabs, you could still come down with the virus and you could still pass it on to somebody else. Although they say it could prevent you from being hospitalized. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I'm only telling you what I've seen and read over the last few years about this virus. But they went house to house, offering whatever reassurance that look who's here. It's Tony Fauci, the great savior. And he's here to tell you that everything's going to be okay if you just listen to him and get the jab. Well, a lot of the people, I'm not going to play the entire thing because quite frankly, it's like seriously with these people, they were treating him like he was some Hollywood celebrity that we all know people glorify celebrities. Some of the people in that long video were treating him like, oh my God, they just saw this big Hollywood actor or something. Like, give me a friggin' break. He's a doctor. He's a scientist. Okay. Does he lie? It's my opinion that he does. It's all been out there. It's all come out. And it's still coming out. Some of the stories he told the American people were not true about the almighty jabs. But I'm going to show you a clip where they went to a house and this guy basically let him have it. He told Tony Fauci just how he felt. And Tony just sat there and listened. And although Bowser and Fauci tried to talk him into getting the jab, he wasn't having any of it. Have a look.
Have a good day.
The people in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
20 years is not enough. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
And
Basically.
It's
like
much
the
more
common flu.
serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It is something going on.
There's something else.
You're right. But I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because my incentive, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is. It's a fear. It's fear, this pandemic. That's all it is.
So that's what they did. They went door to door in that community to try to talk people into getting a jab. Even if they didn't want it, they were going to do everything in their power to make sure they got it. And you heard that guy say, telling them straightforward, no bullshit. The way this thing came about and how fast it came around, and you expect me to do it, I'm not doing it. I don't trust it. And then Tony Fauci said, this has been around in the works for 20 years. Now, I know he meant the process of coming up with a jab, but what do you mean it's been around for 20 years? We've all seen and heard conspiracy theories that this thing has been in the making for a long, long time, and they've had these vials of solution waiting for this moment. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's not true. But what I do know is what they put out there to the American people did not work. And again, yes, it prevented people from being hospitalized, but it did not prevent them from coming down with the virus, and it did not prevent them from spreading the virus. And I know this is old news now. It's 2023, and this thing started in 2020. And for some reason, these videos are just starting to surface. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Congress is looking to put Fauci on the hot seat, if you will, and see if he's willing to say what really happened. Quite frankly, I don't think we'll ever know what really happened. I really don't care, to be honest with you at this point. But to walk around, big celebrity that he thinks he is, with the mayor, and they ran into one resident who wasn't having it. And you heard Bowser say, the reason I'm so close to you right now talking to you is because I got my jab and I'm not concerned. I just have to wonder if she was ever tested positive for that virus after walking around the streets with no piece of paper covering her face. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I do know, and like that man said, they want to give away money. They want to give prizes. Again, you saw the vehicles at the beginning. They want people to win vehicles in some kind of lottery to get jabs. Why, if this thing back then was going to be the thing to save everyone, why are they trying to bribe people with money and gifts? Why would you have to push something that hard and offer so much for someone to get something that could possibly save their life? It's beyond me. I have no idea. But that's what they did, and we all saw it. It was always on the television, always on the radio, always online. Get this one, the updated one. The next one's coming. Make your appointment. Keep it going. Every year, we're going to do it again. But they were on the street. Like, it's almost like he was running for office. going door to door, telling ordinary people like you and I about his scientific background and the research is there and you have to believe the science. I don't know anything about the science. And I'm pretty sure a lot of those people, they didn't know anything about the science either. But this is another example of left-wing politics. Muriel Bowser is a Democrat. D.C. is a crime-ridden hellhole right now. She actually asked for the National Guard to come in at one point to help patrol the streets, and she got a big fat no. She was another one. Let's defund the police after the St. Floyd thing. We don't need the police. But then she goes and knocks on doors to push a jab that she knew maybe wasn't the one that was going to save everybody. I don't know. I had to bring this up today because, I've been seeing these clips all over the place that I've never seen. I've never seen them before. And for that man to get right at Fauci and tell him, listen, bro, you can tell me whatever you want, but I'm not doing it because I don't believe you. And at the end, Fauci, okay, thank you for your time. And they just walked away because they knew they had ran into that one person that wasn't going to listen to their propaganda, because that's all it was. And it continues to be propaganda today because you still see them trying to push the updated jabs all over the place. I personally get emails. I get like spam text messages, make your appointment, CVS Pharmacy, Walgreens, this one, that one, call your medical provider. It's still being pushed when they know that most people who have tested positive most likely have the antibodies to prevent it. Again, I'm not a doctor or a scientist. I'm only telling you guys what I see, and you probably see the same thing. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been already out there in the mainstream media, other than maybe CNN, MSNBC, those bleeding hot liberals. But it's just unbelievable that you would actually have to go out on the street and offer something for someone to get a jab. If it was that useful, if the science was there, and if it was in research for 20 years or more, which we all know that this thing came out probably a little under a year as far as I could see. If they were that sure that it was not going to be any problems, just like the annual flu shot. I get my annual flu shot. Millions of people do. They had confidence in it because it took a long, long time to come up with it. So they knew people weren't going to be harmed by it. But if they knew the jab for the virus was the same way, they wouldn't have been offering anything. No lotteries for cars, no monetary gifts, no gift certificates for food shopping, nothing. They would have made it like, this is what it is. Here's the research. Here's what we know. If you take this jab, it's going to save you. And they didn't do it. And that's why that man basically stood up and said, I don't care what you say, Dr. Fauci and Mayor Bowser. For all I know, there's water in that vial. No one knows what's in it. We probably will never know. But that guy right there, and again, that was 2021. I'm pretty sure today he probably still hasn't gotten one. And that's all I'm going to say. I saw it. I couldn't believe it. And I had to talk about it quick. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell. Share this video with someone. I'd appreciate that. Hope everybody's healthy and safe. And I'll see you soon. Have a great day.